Jacqueline down by the stage.
Yeah, just go ahead and come down here to the north stage. She will give you this beautiful Yeti Camino Carryall. I love that. My wife would like that thing. I should have put her name in there really quick. So again, Michelle Struble, if you won that, if you are here, come on over here, north stage. Come on over here and we will get you hooked up, or Jacqueline will get you hooked up. And I do want to thank Berkshire Hathaway for being sponsors of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. Really appreciate them for stepping up. And so if we can actually get, whenever she comes down here to get her bag, we might actually try to have them do just a little bit of impromptu stuff over there if they want to. So, but Berkshire Hathaway, again, they were voted the best of Columbus in 2019. They carry the most up-to-date training, tools, and services available. They have everything you need to make the best decisions for your family. Premier real estate agent Jacqueline Weezy would love to help you with all of your real estate needs, residential, commercial, and land. And then one of our other great sponsors we got down there, Bus Auction and Realty. Want to thank them too for stepping up, being sponsors. Golden Harvest Seeds, New Course, Steel, Sat Brothers Petroleum, Pro Puller Tires, Joe Bush Ag Repair. Without all the help of everybody here. And I am kicking myself in the butt right now. I've been looking at this fire truck all night. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Columbus Rural Fire Department's over here. It's part of our insurance requirements to have them on site. If you could please give them a hand for being here. These guys are standing over there. A volunteer organization you got over there, but there's men and ladies over there. Hey, Columbus Fire, thank you very much for being here. This round of applause is for you guys, so thank you very much for being here. And also Midwest Medical Transport, the ambulance that's down there. I want to thank them all for being here too. Without them being here, again, we could not put this show on, so I want to thank them very much for being here. So if you could also please give them a hand, appreciate that for everything that they do. They are on call basically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So again, thank you very much for doing what you do. And I guess from one volunteer fireman to another, appreciate everything that you guys do down here. So, but again, they're getting the weight box loaded up. They're getting the sled weighted up over there. We are going to our 9,300-pound super farms. That'll be the next class that will be coming up. They run engines up to 640 cubic inches, a cast iron rear end. So it's a cast tractor that you're seeing coming out here. Up to 640 cubic inches again. They run one single turbocharger underneath. It is a precision turbocharger that they are running. And I think it's like a 3.35 inlet, maybe 3.2 inch inlet is what they are running. And I believe the 8500s, they run a 3-inch by 3.2. So again, we are still selling the Nebraska Bush Pullers t-shirts down over there. If you want to go down there and grab one of them t-shirts, anything from children's small all the way up to 2 extra large. You know, I've seen a lot of things at a tractor pull, but I've never seen a puppy pull. Did you beat the puppy? We are getting things going here. 9,200-pound super farm. Sorry, I said 9,300 before. 9,200-pound super farms that are coming up to the track right now. First tractor we got coming up hails out of Pilgrim, Nebraska. This is going to be Mike Dunklow. And I'll give you a rundown of our modified tractors that we just ran. Finishing number 9 is going to be the Sleigh Ride 2. Finishing number 8 is going to be the Three Amigos. Number 7 is going to Number 6 is going to go to Jet Lag, Dave Turkelson. Number 5 goes to Brian Fuhr on Fuhr Pulling. This is where the Calcutta money starts now. The Warhawk Gage Ott, he finishes in number 4. Foreign Affairs, Blake Ott's going to finish in the number 3. Retired Warfare, Cody Meyer, you are going to finish in the number 2 spot. And the winner of the class, Blake Ott, frequent flyer, goes 304.45. And that tractor sold for $150 in the Calcutta. They will come out the most money out of anybody there in that Calcutta money. So congratulations to whoever bought that tractor. And congratulations to the Ott pulling team and to the Meyer family and the Meyer pulling team. But this will be burning bucks. Mike Dunclow coming up. But this will be the burning bucks, and we'll follow it up by In the Way, Keith Seidler coming up. Then Drake Wallman on the Wallman 1066. Eric Groney on the Husker Hooker. Dave Ulichka on the Feedlot Special. And last tractor of the class will be Norm Cavan on Mag Horse. But this tractor here hails out of Pilgrim, Nebraska. This is going to be Mike Dunclow on Burning Bucks. Just got that tractor kind of start going down that hill before that X-Factor sled. The Bungart Motorsports Golden Harvest sponsored sled there stopped him right there at the end. We're going to be close to that 300-foot mark. And again, the nice thing about back from the racetrack that we had before and putting it over there is this will be a kind of a permanent deal for them to have over here. They're not going to have to move the dirt out of here. But they are going to move it farther to the south, so next year everything will be farther south again. So just to let you know that again. But the distance for Mike Dunclow is going to be 285.92, 285.92. That thought I had my mic shut off and I didn't get it. I forgot there's a delay in there. But he did accept that, so we are official. But 285.92, Mike Dunclow, burning bucks. And next tractor up, Keith Seidler coming up In the Way. Right after our super farms we'll be going to our unlimited super stocks. If you were here early enough in the evening, you saw one of our unlimited super stocks making a test pass. They were shaking some bugs out of that thing. They're trying to get things figured out for that tractor to see what they got to do with the fuel system. But then we'll have Keith Seidler In the Way coming up in our Super Farm class. Drake Wallman, the Wallman 1066 is sitting on deck right now. So right now we got Burning Buck sitting out there number one. 285.92, Mike Dunclow. We got Keith Seidler coming up now In the Way. Carrying the old 20 Series 10 work on there. You see once if he can't get this hard running John Deere. And again, these tractors can run up to 640 cubic inch. A Bosch inline P-pump fuel, 24.532 rear tires, and they are all running a cast iron rear end. So this is your basic 40-10. The John Deeres are using the 40-10 and the 40-20 rear ends. That is the most common rear end. You're going to see it. The Internationals, they are running either a 706 rear end, or some guys did use the 66 series rear end. But the 706 was the most common because it could get lightened up the easiest. So, but this again, Keith Seidler, this is going to be In the Way. He is chasing down the distance, put down there by Burning Bucks. Mike Dunclow, your leader at 285.92. But Keith Seidler In the Way. A good pass for that John Deere runner right there. we have got the rest of the tractors are going to be all red that are going to be coming up. Only 2 John Deeres in this class. Again, your leader is Mike Duncloud, 285.92. Keith Seidler is going to go 270.09, 270.09. So that is the distance there for Keith Seidler. We got Drake Wallman, the Wallman 1066 coming up. And we're going to go to Eric Groney, the Husker hooker. That will be one of the next tractors coming up to the class. Watch the replay all the time as you see them tractors kind of bouncing up and down that front end. They are loading and unloading that hitch every single time they do that. And with that front end bouncing up and down like that, guys claim that they'll lose about 2 feet every time that tractor bounces like that on their total run. If they can pick up that front end and carry it, and if it settles down once, they're all right. If it starts doing that up and down, they are losing approximately about 2 feet is what the I guess rule of thumb is that the guys are actually, whenever they're running them tractors, and what they're actually losing on distance. But Drake Wallman, the Wallman 1066, going to be coming up next. Mike Duncloud of Pilgrim, Nebraska. That tractor sit out there at 285.92. That is your current leader. A beautiful evening for a tractor pull. I was kind of worried when I heard the forecast and they were talking about back into the 90s. And that is the one issue that we're kind of having a little bit that we were worried about, is with that sled getting backed up kind of in that same spot. Kind of found himself a little bit of a hole back there that they're going to kind of sinking away just a little bit. This is the kind of the joys that a guy runs into whenever you start messing with kind of unknown what you're going to run into with some of these tracks this year. It's been kind of a crapshoot, I guess, if you want to put it that way. With all the moisture we had earlier on in the year, there's a lot of stuff that really is kind of, I guess, what I would call taking it in the shorts, that things just aren't quite normal. So we're finding it out and through the tractor pulling world about tracks that we've never had an issue with before, that all of a sudden guys are starting to say that they're having some issues with. Water tables are coming up. Let's see, once they can get this kind of squared away, get it packed down pretty good for them to be able to get through that. But Drake Wallman, Wallman 1066, hails out of Cortland, Nebraska, a little town down there just south of Lincoln on Highway 77. Used to go through Cortland quite a bit when I was back in my driving days. But the Drake Wallman 1066 is coming up right now. We are going to kind of need the lights put on here sometime in the near future, just so these guys, whenever we start getting a little bit darker here, that it's going to get a little tougher for them to see out on that track. So if we can get one of the fair officials to go ahead and maybe give us a little bit of light out here now, just to kind of get prepared for what's going to be happening here within the next 10-15 minutes. It's going to get a little bit darker out here, so. But Drake Wallman, 1066. We've got a total of 6 trackers in this class. He is hook number 3. Your current leader is still Mike Dunklow, Burning Bucks, 285.92. Keith Seidler in the way at 270.09. Drake Wallman, the Wallman, 1066. We got green on the sled. We got green flags going. A red tractor coming down the track. Drake Wallman out of Cortland, Nebraska again. The Wallman 1066. Good pass there for Drake. He is chasing that distance put out there by Mike Dunklow. He could be getting really close to it. He will be in that number 2 spot for sure. Got to go 286.33. 286.33. You have a new leader. The Wallman 1066 takes the lead away from Burning Bucks at 285.92. So 286.33. Drake Wallman takes number 1 spot. Burning Bucks, Mike Dunklow is going to go number 2 at 285.92. And Keith Seidler will still be sitting there number 3 at 270.09. We've got Eric Groney, the Husker hooker, coming up. And then we will have Davey Litchka, the feedlot special, coming up right after him. And then we will finish up class with Norm Cavan on the Magnum Force. There's Jim Waddle that's walking down the track right there, the driver of the Dark Horse. Hey, Jim, is the Dark Horse still for sale or not? Everything is for sale. That's usually how it goes, but. Out of Wayne, Nebraska, the tractor that's hooked up to the sled right now. This is going to be Eric. This is the Husker hooker. For a good pass for Eric there, that Husker hooker. He is going to be competing for Drake Wallman. That leader right now is at 286.33. 286.33 is sitting there number 1. Mike Dunclow, Vernon Bucks is sitting there number 2. Eric is going to be sitting there at 283.33. 283. So he was sitting there right now in that number 3 spot. We got Dave Ulichka out of Schuyler, Nebraska coming up next on the feedlot special. And Dave was here helping earlier get this track ready to go. He was the one running the maintainer. They brought their maintainer over from the feedlot up there north of Schuyler to help them get this track put together the first time, and then he was the one that was out there scraping and blading everything off to be able to get it in the condition that it is right now, because in all honesty right now we have got a decent track for what we started off. You guys did an amazing job, kind of getting a little bit of a dip there down there at the starting line, but that's just where everybody's taking off from. So you will kind of get that a lot of times, especially in a track that you've just laid down for the first time, and especially this summer now, or this spring, we had carried so much water into there was so much water that got carried into all this dirt and stuff that was stacked up. So whatever happened with that, whenever that all did, that moisture could not get out of that. It kind of sealed itself up. So these guys did a great job. It is a really decent track as of right now. So we're going to go again. Dave Ulichka, feedlot special, will be the next one up. And then Norm Cavan, Magnum Force, will be the last tractor to be able to hook this 9,200-pound. That's his son Rodney that's out there. As of a few years ago, Mom Rhonda used to pull this tractor too. She would run this thing probably about as hard as you could actually run a tractor. She was, I told Rodney the one time, I said, I think she almost drives it better than you guys do, and he kind of agreed. But Rhonda, with some health issues that with her knees and her hips, she decided she's better off just cheering them on. So Rodney and Dave both take turns on driving this tractor. So these two guys, though, are very instrumental in making tractor pulling what it is in this area. They help out a lot with the Colfax County Fairgrounds up there next week, and then also down here at the Platte County Fair. So these guys love tractor pulling, love to help out any way that they can. And we got green lights on the sled. He is chasing the distance put out there by Drake Wallman. The Wallman 1066, your leader at 286.33. We are going now. Dave Ulichka out of Schuyler, Nebraska. This is the Feed Special. And tried to run that west side of the track there to see once if he couldn't find something a little bit different in there for bite. Drake Wallman is sitting out there to lead at 286.33. Sitting number 2, Vernon Bucks. Mike Dunclow at 285.92. And sitting number 3 is the Husker Hooker at 285.33. .86. That is going to put him in the number 4 spot as of right now. Got one tractor left to hook, and that's going to be Norm Cavan out of Cedar Bluffs, Nebraska. And the renowned Magnum Force tractor is going to be coming up here to hook. And then we'll go to our Unlimited Super Stocks. They will be the next class we got coming up, and then we will end the night with our 9,500-pound 4.1 Limited Pro Stocks. That will be the last class of the night. And if I can get somebody from the fair board, we are going to need some lights out here really quick. I guess I want to try to make sure that we can get some lighting on. But if we could get somebody from the board to please kind of get some lights turned on out here, we would really appreciate it. If it's going to kind of get to the point to where the guys might have a hard time kind of seeing what's all happening there. So So last tractor of the class is going to be Norm Cavan again. He is chasing the leader out there, Drake Wallman, the Wallman 1066. He's out there at 286.33. And the good old Magnum Force is sitting there. It's been a staple in the tractor pulling world for a lot of years. He has competed this tractor at the National Farm Machinery Show, Bowling Green, Ohio. He has kind of been all over with this tractor. And the tractor hails out of Cedar Bluffs, Nebraska, which is just south of North Bend, kind of north of Wahoo. But we will see once how he does with reading this. Been around tractor pulling for a lot of years. Really good at reading the track, knowing what he needs to see, needs to do. But again, love seeing the crowd that we got up here. Nice being here on a Friday night. We've been here on Thursday nights before. We finally got a Friday night, and I'll tell you what, this is awesome to be here. Beautiful night for tractor pulling. See if we can get this show wrapped up and get you guys into doing a little dance and sidestep's going to be playing at the Beer Garden here in just a little bit. But do want to thank our sponsors again. I know I've kind of have said them quite a few times, but Pro Puller Tires, Sapp Brothers, Golden Harvest Seed, Nucor, Joe Bush Repair, Bus Auction and Realty, Lucky Land Appraisals, Berkshire Hathaway, Jacqueline Weezy, want to thank her for doing that. Also want to thank Rival Designs, Kara Allball, for doing everything that she does for the Nebraska Bush Pull. But out of Cedar Bluffs, Nebraska, tractor of the class, this is Norm Cavan on the famous Magnum Force. Good pass there for Norm. If you kind of watch what he did, he set the sled all the way to the left and just let that tractor take it where it wanted, let the tractor go where it wanted to, wherever that track was going to take it, kind of doing a little bit of a slingshot from one side of the track to the other, kind of on a cattywampus angle. But last tractor of the class is going to take the lead in the win. 287.29, 287.29 for Norm Cavan. Going to knock Drake Wallman down one spot into that number 2. I will get you a rundown of the finishers in this class. Watch the replay screen up there of that pass. He just kind of let that tractor do what I wanted to do. The sled was taking him over that direction. But very, very nice pass there for Norm. We are going to run down the class. Number 6 is going to be Keith Seidler. Finishing number 5, Dave Ulichka, the Feedlot Special. Finishing number 4, Eric Groney, the Husker Hooker. Finishing number 3, Mike Dunclow, Burnin' Bucks. Number 2, going to go to Drake Wallman, the Wallman 1066. And the winner of the class, the Magnum Force tractor, Norm Cavan out of Cedar Bluffs, Nebraska, takes the win with a distance of 287.29. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the 9,200-pound Super Farms of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. If you could, please put your hands together and thank them for putting on a great show. And we are got 2 more classes we got coming up here. We got our Unlimited Supers. We have got 4 tractors competing in that. We're going to start off with Wes Neiman. What was I thinking? Jamie Kinsel on the Mean Moline. Last one standing, Justin Hoffman. And Frank Boaboy on the Green Lightning will be the last tractor in that class. And then we'll go on to our 9,500-pound Limited Pro Stocks. We have got 5 tractors competing in that. Dave Novak, Craig Yankee, Scott Mum, Seth Novak, and Darren Weirs. That is going to be the 5 tractors we'll have in our 4-1 Limited Pro Stops. So we will go now to our unlimited super stocks. First tractor out is going to be Wes Neiman. Unlimited super stocks, they can run up to 4 stages of turbochargers. Unlimited. The cubic inches, yeah, they can pretty much run.
If your transmission's broke, you aren't going anywhere. Columbus Transmission, 1982 East 14th Avenue, just south of Tractor Supply, has been specializing in transmission repair for nearly 30 years. Whether it's your car, van, SUV pickup, or that special classic vehicle you've stowed away that needs work, Irv and his team can get you back on the road. All repair rebuilding work is done on site, so you know it's going to last. And Columbus Transmission warranties the work. Call 564-7754 or stop by the shop, 1982 East 14th Avenue.
93.5, The Hawk. The station that made the classics classic. Nebraska's classic hits. 93.5, The Hawk.
KZ100 is Central Nebraska's source for local news, weather, sports, and the leader in agricultural information. We're the station playing your favorite country and focus on covering the issues that affect Nebraskans. Nebraska's biggest FM, KZ100.
Clear 101 KLIR. Today's hits by Maroon 5, Bruno Mars, and Rihanna with popular hits from the 90s and 80s. Wake up to the morning buzz with Riley Scott and Sandy Fisher weekdays at 6 a.m. Your at-work station. Clear 101 KLIR.
Bush Fullers from time to time. That is Mark Ulmer out of Menno, South Dakota with the Lost tractor. You will see him come down and compete with these guys every once in a while. But Wes Neiman out of B, Nebraska, the What Was I Thinking? You saw his other tractor that Doug was driving, his dad. That was the Always Something tractor. And then bringing it out of the mothballs, out of the storage crate, out of the garage, the Mean Moline. Jamie Kitzel's going to be here with that Mean Moline tractor. And then we'll have Justin Hoffman, last one standing, coming to you out of Dunlap, Iowa. And then Frank Bowboy will be coming to you at last tractor in the class. He's got a big cheering crowd down here, family sitting over here. So, but that is the... You're gonna eat it. But again, first tractor we got coming up is going to be Wes Neiman. What was I thinking? They're going to change the weight sled, the weight box in the sled here just a little bit. Going to probably add just a little bit more to it. Looks like they got that done. And we got a couple of the 4-1 limited pro stocks that are down there in the infield that are warming up. So if you see the diesel smoke kind of coming up. But getting things fired up over there. The competitors in limited stock are making their way over there. Wes Neiman, what was I thinking? He is getting that tractor ready to go. He'll be the first one to hook. And among like everything else that we had for, so first tractor of the class will have the option to go ahead and either accept that pull or go ahead and turn it down, come back later on. The one thing about what this class does, though, is these guys cannot always get it cooled down enough to be able to bring it back around. So, in all honesty, they've got one shot that they want to make a good pass on. Wes Neiman took the win over there the other night in Malvern, Iowa with the Nebraska Bush Fullers. Had a good pass over there. This tractor's been around a little bit. Josh Harrington out of Missouri owned this tractor for a while. Wes went down there and bought that tractor. Josh was going to sell it. He was going to just concentrate on his light super stock that he had. Well, the tractor got named after that little trip down there because it really didn't have a name to it. Wes said he got back and he thought about it a little bit and he goes, what was I thinking? Well, that's how they named the tractor. The What Was I Thinking? Wes Neiman, a 7220 alcohol-fired Case IH. Again, coming in weighing 6,500 pounds, turning over 3,000 horsepower. Took the win the other night again at Malvern, Iowa. Went out to Unionville, Missouri. Competed against some really tough unlimited supers out there, too. Come away with, trying to think what he finished out there. Had a kind of a tough run, if I remember right. Did not get it to clean up for him. But get that chain tightened up. Again, there's two chains that are on there. They got a primary hook chain and a safety chain. And then the kill switch. But you'll be able to hear these guys when they're getting it wound up. They are putting RPMs to it, getting them turbochargers spooled up in stages. They are running a maximum of 4 turbochargers, 3 pressure stages. Out of B, Nebraska, this is going to be Wes Neiman. What was I thinking? All sorts of tire speed there. Had a pretty good start coming out. Got that track pretty good. And it did hook him to the right side. He had to get on them brakes to be able to get it done and brought back. But pretty good pass there for Wes. Going to go 259.39, 259.39. These tractors, whenever they do get a hold of that track, they can put one impressive pass down really, really quick. I'm watching the replay here on My Central, and he was fighting that tractor all the way down the track, constantly turning that wheel and working them brakes to keep it down there to get that respectable pass at 259.39, 259 and 39. We got Jamie Kinsel, the Mean Moline tractor, coming up. I believe Jamie lives down in Elkhorn, Nebraska now. Dad Jim is there in Valley. Lost Connie within the last year. Lost her to her battle with cancer that she had. So it's good to see the old Mean Moline tractor back out. They had posted onto Facebook their found it in the garage again, and they had her fired up sitting in there. So. But Jamie Kinsel, Mean Moline, Kinsel family, longtime residents of Creston, Nebraska, just up the road here, about 18 miles up the monastery. But it's good to see the old Minneapolis Moline back out again on the track. They retired from tractor pulling a couple years ago, decided that it just was getting to the point to where they didn't want to make that full circuit anymore. And so they just kind of hung it up and said, you know what, we're just going to come out. We're going to make an appearance at a couple of the close pulls that we used to, are what they kind of consider still their hometown pull. So when I saw they had her fired up for the other night, I knew that they were coming down here to Columbus, Nebraska, and probably Nebraska next week. And then my guess is that tractor might be going back in storage for another year, but you never know. Every once in a while, they like to get the old bite going again and say, you know what, let's go out and let's do a little more tractor pulling. So the old Minneapolis Moline, the Mean Moline, is coming up to the track right now. What was I thinking? Wes Neiman is your leader out there, 259.39, 259 and 39. That is your current leader. Old G6, Mean Moline G6. Some of the stories that this old tractor could tell about Jim and his pulling days, if this tractor could talk, it'd be really interesting to see what it could say. I'm sure I asked hard enough, though, guy could probably find out a little bit of the stories. Some of his old competitors, some of the ones that they could come up with, but again, Jamie Kinsel's driving this tractor here tonight, and this is going to be the Mean Moline. Chasing the distance put out there by Wes Neiman at 2:59 and 39. They used to run this tractor all the time with one big single turbocharger underneath the hood. I am venturing to guess they haven't changed much on that. Tractor comes in weighing, it is a cast iron rear tractor, so it is weighing 7,500 pounds. Mean Moline, Jamie Kinsel. A little bit too much weight on the front end for the old Mean Moline. Could not get that front end up to carry it. A lot of weight down there in that front end. Did not ever get them tires to really get a good hook into that track. And the Mean Moline tractor is going to finish back there at about 230.16. 230.16 for the Mean Moline. It's good to see the old tractor out here again. These guys come out just for the fun. So he's going to be in that number 2 spot. Wes Neiman, 259.39. We got the last one standing. Justin Hoffman coming up. They made a test pass earlier in the evening to see once they could figure out their issues with this, how he was running. Did a test pass on it just to see once what they got to do to it, if they need to back the fuel off a little bit or what they needed to do. And they were going to go back, and this one is computer controlled. Basically, they got a, not computer controlled, but they got a monitor on it. And they will go back and they will plug that tractor into a computer and see once what all the readings were. They can read each individual cylinder temp to know what they got to do. The Boa Boy tractor, the Green Lightning, I believe, has got the same system set up on it or something really similar. So a lot of these guys, when you start getting unlimited super stocks and even into the super farm, some guys are doing it too. The 8,500 pound limiter pros are kind of getting that way. Light super stock too. They being able to monitor individual cylinder temperatures to be able to know if they got a hot cylinder, cold cylinder, what's going on. So it's really kind of interesting what technology has done with tractor pulling in the past couple of years. But Justin Hoffman is going to be coming up. John Hoffman, his dad, will be backing him up there. Karen Hoffman, his mom, out on the track earlier. Well, this will be the last hail out of Dunlap, Iowa. Can't stand. Getting her started up over there. It's going to be Justin Hoffman again. Last one standing, Dunlap, Iowa. And John sitting down there at about 310 feet, 320 feet. Okay. Sneeman, what was I thinking? 259.39. If you get a chance, take a look at this tractor. Look at that front grill screen if you can after the pull is over, if you want to go and talk to these guys, if the pits are going to be open. But take a look underneath there. You can see the setup of the turbochargers. Feeling out of Dunlap. Again, out of Dunlap, Iowa, this is going to be Justin Hoffman. International 5488, they call last one standing. Did not like to see that at all. Some sparks came out. Not sure what all happened in there, if he lost his ignition or what happened, but it just kind of laid down on him. We're going to need to pull off on the sled out here. If you can, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Justin's got his helmet off. Last one standing, International 5488. Find out what exactly happened to that tractor if I can. Okay, I just asked Justin what he thought. I really don't know. He said the tractor felt really good. Everything was looking really good to him. All the numbers that he's looking at, everything up on the dash, just all of a sudden just went away from him. So soon as I find out what happened, I will pass it on to the last one standing tractor. Justin said everything felt good. Looked like felt like it was on a rail whenever he was driving. He said it just felt really good to him, and all of a sudden everything just kind of quit. So they were going to go get the C once what happened. So hopefully we can get some information to you to let you know, kind of pass it on to see what actually went on and what happened to the last one standing. His distance is going to be 186.94, 186.94 for Justin Hoffman, last one standing. The last tractor of the night is going to be for this class is going to be Frank Bowboy out of Howells, Nebraska. This is going to be the Green Lightning tractor. And again, the tractor hooking up right now. Last tractor of this class. This will be the Green Lightning tractor here. alcohol-fired tractor. This is the old Cornhusker Deere 2 chassis the Bowl Boys bought from the Schroeder family down there in Jansen, Nebraska after the passing of Dwayne. Wanted this tractor to stay close to home. Frank Bowl Boy out of Howells, Nebraska. This is Green Lightning. You got the sled settings pretty tight on these unlimited super stocks in this, but good pass there for Boy. The green tractor. Again, your leader was Wes Neiman out of B, Nebraska at 259.39. The Green Lightning tractor is going to take the win at 266.75. 266 and 75 for the Boy family out of Howells, Nebraska. On that class, finishing number 4 is going to be Jason Hoffman. Last one standing. Number 3 is going to go to the Mean Moline, Jamie Kinsel. Number 2 is going to go to Wes Neiman. What was I thinking? And the winner of the class again, going to be the Green Lightning tractor. He puts a pass down there of 266. .75. But again, this will be the last class of the night that we're going to be coming up to now is going to be our 9,500 pound pro. 4.1 inlet on the turbocharger, 0.3 on the exhaust side, 640 cubic inches. This is a cast iron rear tractor. Out in the neighborhood, a lot of these tractors are putting out right around 2,500 horsepower is what they're putting to the ground. A lot of guys have been on the dyno to get things kind of squared away, but dyno time has been very crucial for these guys into figuring out their setups, either fuel, turbo setups, whatever they need to work on. But doing a good job of getting the horsepower to the ground the way these tractors have been kind of running. First tractor we got up is going to be Dave Novak on the Mean Farmer. Be followed up by Craig Yankee on Moving On. They will have Smoke on Approach, Scott Mumm. Then the Bounty Hunter, Seth Novak. And then the last tractor of the class will be Top Gun, Darren Weirs. So that will be the rundown of the class. Again, before our night is over, though, we do need to thank everybody that's been a part of this event for us to be here with the Nebraska Bush Pullers. Really enjoying having a good here. Beautiful night for tractor pulling. And guys have done an excellent job on the track, getting everything all done on that. I want to thank you for being here tonight, too. Probably the biggest crowd we've ever had for a tractor pull here at the Platte County Fair that I can remember. I want to Fair Board for actually moving us to a Friday night. It worked out really well to get it here on a Friday night, get it off a Thursday night. We were kind of going head-to-head against the races out there at the US 30 Speedway. So nice to be able to be here on a Friday night at Platte County Fair. Really enjoying being here. The crowd is, the way I'm seeing it up in the grandstands, really nice crowd that's up there. But out of Howells, Nebraska, the first tractor coming up, this is the Mean Farmer. This is Dave Novak. And again, these tractors, 640 cubic inches, running a 4.1 inlet on the turbocharger. 24.532 rear tires, cast iron ag chassis. Bus auction. But he will say he will be the test puller of the class. I want to thank Bus Auction and Realty for being here tonight to do the Calcutta, and also for being a sponsor of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. Also Lucky Land Appraisals and Berkshire Hathaway. And congratulations to Michelle Struble for winning that bag. First tractor of the class, 9,500-pound limited pro stock. Dave Novak, Howells, Nebraska. This is the Mean Farmer. Well, Dave put that one out there that he wanted to get into that grass. What a pass. 9,500 pounds, turning about 2,500. Front end really well. So Dave Novak goes 294.51, 294.51. We are going now to Craig Yonke on the moving on. Tractor hails out of Pilgrim, Nebraska up there. And we are official, 294.51. Dave Novak, the Mean Farmer, he does take that pass, so we are going to be official on that. We're going to move now to Craig Yonke, the moving on. Followed up by Smoke on Approach, Scott Mumm. And then we will have Seth Novak on the Bounty Hunter. And the last tractor of the class, last tractor of the evening, will be Darren Weirs on the Top Gun. Again, we do want to thank Sapp Brothers Petroleum, Joe Bush Ag Repair, Golden Harvest Seeds, Pro Puller Tires, Nucor, for being sponsors of. I want to thank them for. I'm just going to sit here and do this. Thank them for being sponsors of the Nebraska Bush Pullers to see once what we can all bring to you for the following with their continued sponsorship. Okay, we're going to change mics here. We're starting to have a little bit of interference problem with the other ones. So I figure for the last 4 tractors of the night, I can go ahead and go away from my headset. But again, Craig Yonke coming up to you right now. This is going to be the moving on tractor. He's going to be chasing his trailer mate out there, Dave Novak. Those guys go to a lot of tractor pulls together. Dave Novak's out there at 294.51. They actually went and competed, I believe, up at an NTP event the other day, last week, up in Iowa. But he is chasing that distance there. And again, Scott Mumm, Smoke on Approach, is going to be coming up next. Be followed by Seth Novak, the Bounty Hunter. That is Dave's son. And then Darren Weirs out of Diller, Nebraska. The Top Gun tractor will be the last one to hook for the evening. Looks like we're getting ready to go. Chasing that distance put out there by Dave Novak, 294.51. Craig Yankee, this is Moving On. A good pass for that international, 10.66 international. Craig Yankee moving on. But I'm watching the replay up here on mycentralnebraska.com. And had a really good pass. That tractor kind of hooked up right away, picked that front end up, just kind of bounced that front end just a little bit. Every once in a while, nothing too major. But it's going to go 290.50, 290.50. We'll leave him in the number 2 spot. So we will have Scott Mumm coming up. When we were at Malvern, Iowa the other day, Scott, we believe, took his clutch out. So I had to do some work on that. On the weekend, he missed Unionville, Missouri. Good to see him back out here. Scott's kind of got a unique name to his tractor. It's called Smoke on Approach. If you've been around tractor pulling and Nebraska bush pullers before, you've heard me tell this story. But he is a fireman down in Omaha. He works down at Epley Airfield. Or not, yeah, Epley. But he works down there, and he's on the fire crew down there. So he gets to meet all sorts of different people down there and famous people whenever their planes come in and they got issues or whatever, and they dispatch the fire crew out there. But he said, he's the fireman on different... He substitutes or volunteers at the Boys Town and I think the Elkhorn and just kind of all around. But I was talking to him one day and I asked him, I said, well, how did you name your tractor? What you named it? And he goes, well, the first call sign that comes whenever a fire department comes up to a house fire or a building fire, as he said, if they see smoke, they always call out Smoke on Approach. Well, that's how he named this tractor, because he just kind of liked that saying all the time. So Scott Mumm out of Omaha, Nebraska. This is going to be the Smoke on Approach. He is chasing the distance put out there by the mean farmer, Dave Novak. He's sitting out there at 294.51. That is your current leader as of right now. So we will see once if Scott can go ahead and take that lead, put an international on top. We got Seth Novak on the Bounty Hunter John Deere coming up next. And then after him, we will go to a black International 1066 they call Top Gun. And that'll be Darren Weirs. Scott Mumm right now sitting there getting hooked up to the sled. That is Craig Whitty that's out there that's helping to get backed up. Craig does have a tractor, I think, around someplace too, waiting for him to bring it back out of the mothballs. But again, Scott Mumm, Omaha, Nebraska, coming up right now, chasing the distance put out there by Dave Novak, 294.51. Craig Yankee goes 290.50. And then we are going to have Scott Mumm coming up to see once if he can't shake that up and get into that leader spot. Okay, we are green on the track, green on the flags. Scott Mumm out of Omaha, Nebraska. Again, this is Smoke on Approach. Scott Mumm, good pass there. Got picked up right at the very start of it, and that tractor took a violent left turn. He got hard on the brakes, turned it back to the right, and then as he's going down the track again, it wanted to take himself a little bit left again, so he was back on them brakes. It's going to hurt his distance. your leader is still Dave Novak on the Mean Farmer at 294.51. Scott Mumm, Smoke on Approach, is going to go 278.43. That is the distance right now for Scott Mumm, Smoke on Approach. That is going to leave him in the number 3 spot. When you get a track like this, what we got here tonight, where it's a really kind of a soft track, getting really hard to get going, the less that you have to touch them brakes, the better off you are. Right now, and if you know tractor pulling a little bit, whenever the sun goes down, the moisture starts coming up in the track. Well, what's going on right now is we got moisture that's coming up, and you can see that it's really kind of getting a little bit clumpy down here from about 200 feet on. Well, what's happening is all that's getting up underneath that pan, and it's really dragging them guys down. And then what will end up happening is anytime that they have to touch their brakes to be able to correct it, do whatever, that just slows down that momentum just a little bit more, and it's going to take some definite feet away from them. But your leader is still Dave Novak, the Mean Farmer, sitting there number 2, Craig Yankee, the Moving On, and then Scott Mumm sitting there number 3. It's Smoke on Approach. But again, I want to also thank Alan Heyer, Heartland Display, for being here. Alan Heyer and Brad Teeter, they're the replay and I guess distant board that's over there. I want to thank the sponsors, Frontier Co-op, Ernst, all of them that are running through on that board up there. Want to definitely give them a big shout out for making that possible to have them guys here. It's kind of a treat to be able to have a screen like that. The guy can take a look at the run whenever they redo it. But seeing once where they got the camera set up and following that tractor down, and when they start going down the track at 25 to 30 mile an hour at times, can be really hard to be able to get that followed. So they do a good job of being able to follow that to make sure that they can get the best view and the best picture that they can. Well, this is the bounty hunter that's coming up here, Seth Novak. Pulling it up here. Must be having some issues maybe in a little bit of clutch area possibility, or once they get it shifted into a gear, then it's just a little bit tougher to be able to get it back into reverse. So they're going to go ahead and pick him up and pull him and push him and basically position him to that sled. If I get a chance, I'm going to ask Dave when he walks by what's kind of going on with the bounty hunter. When these guys go to indoor pulls, the hooks that you see on the front of these, they actually pick these tractors up to bring them in. And so they're used to being able to be picked up like that. That hitch that's on the front of that can carry all that weight. They can pick that tractor up. But when we do an indoor pull, again, like Cornhusker Classic down in Lincoln or one like that, they will actually position them tractors in there with telehandlers. They'll just come underneath that, pick that up, move that tractor wherever they need to. So but again, out of Clarkson, Nebraska, Seth calls Clarkson home. The tractor hails out of Howells, the farm there just northwest of Howells. But this is going to be Seth Novak. He is chasing his dad, who is leading it right now at 294 feet plus change. See once if he can't get himself down there into that leader zone. But this will be Seth Novak coming down the track right now. This is the bounty hunter. What a job of driving by Seth, I'll tell you what. That was impressive. He basically just rode the brakes, just feathered him out, pointed that tractor straight, and away he went. We will see once if he takes the lead away from his dad at 294.51. That is where Dave Novak is sitting at. How about 297.55? Seth Novak just takes the lead away from his dad. And I did find out why that they kind of pulled it up there the way they did this, having just a little bit of a oil leak in the steering system, so they just didn't want to get oil everywhere, but did a great job of getting that pointed down the track. So Seth Novak's going to take the lead. I was talking to one of the track officials there and asked him what it looked like when he went by, and he goes, that was probably one of the prettiest passes I've seen yet tonight. Just had to feather the brakes a little bit, nothing major. Had that tractor carrying the front end, and away it went. Yeah, one of the fastest tractors tonight. He went 28.1 mile an hour. So on this kind of a sticky, tacky track we got like that, that's a great, great pass. We're going to be going now 297.55. Again, that is your leader. Last tractor tonight going to be Darren Weirs on the Top Gun International 1066. It's coming up. Hails out of Diller, Nebraska. We will see once if he can't take the win here tonight out of Columbus, Nebraska. Puts on a pull down there in Diller at Diller Picnic Days. And again, as soon as the pull is over, I think Sidestep's going to be playing in the beer garden, so go get your dancing shoes on. And if you get a chance, go ahead and, if you can get into the pits back there and you want to get some autographs from some of these pullers and stuff, feel free to do that. They are more than happy to sign some autographs for you. So but again, on behalf of the Nebraska Bush Pullers, I do want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Great crowd tonight. Enjoyed this event immensely. Beautiful evening that we had here. Cannot get much better than that. It all started off with Pastor Brad Bertell giving the invocation and the prayer before that, then the beautiful singing of the national anthem. And from there, the night just kept getting better and better and better. This is a beautiful night for tractor pulling. You cannot get much better than this. Nice little breeze, keeping the smoke and the dust away. The track crew did an awesome job of getting everything ready to go. I want to thank them for all that. I want to thank you for sticking around, having a good time, making that Calcutta a success. Somebody's going out of here with some big money. They bought a couple cheap tractors on that. But do want to thank everybody for putting bids in and making things happen, because that was an awesome, awesome time. But last tractor of the night, again, out of Diller, Nebraska. This is going to be Darren Weirs, chasing 297.55, put out there by Seth Novak. This is Top Gun. Followed that same line put out there by Seth Novak. Just got pulled a little bit farther to the right. I will get you his distance here in just a little bit. And again, your leader and winner of this class will be, I believe, at 297.55, the bounty hunter, Seth Novak. Darren Weirs is going to go 273.73, 273 and 73. So the rundown of the class, I will give you the order of finish from number 5 to number 1. Number 5 is going to go to Darren Weirs at 273.73 on that Top Gun. Number 4, is going to go to Scott Mum, smoke on approach. Number 3 is going to go to Craig Yonke. The moving on. Dave Novak on the Mean Farmer is going to take home the number 2 spot at 294.51. And the winner of the class, Seth Novak, with the fastest pass of the night at 28.1 mile an hour. This is the Bounty Hunter's turn, 297.55 to take the win out of the Platte County Fair here in Columbus, Nebraska. On behalf of the Nebraska Bush Pullers, again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Chris Kripkowite. I've been your announcer tonight. Really enjoy being here. I want to thank all the track crew, track officials, and all the assistants that were here tonight. Enjoy yourself a great evening. It's been a good time. Again, Sidestep will be kicking it off here in just a little bit. Go over to the beer garden if you can. Get into the pit area and talk to the pullers, and they will definitely talk back to you. So on behalf of the Nebraska Bush Pullers, have a good night, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you.